Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rafidan Salamah. My student ID number is 2320070. I'm from class PBI4C. At this video, I will make a simple presentation. The material is about differences in learning language between native and non-native speaker. The first topic is about definition of native speaker. In language studies, native speaker is a controversial term for a person who speaks and writes using his or her native language, or we can say mother tongue. Put simply, the traditional view is that the language of a native speaker is determined by birthplace, contrast with non-native speaker. Linguist Bert Cacheru identifies native speakers of English as those who have grown up in the inner circle of countries Britain, America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and extremely proficient speaker of a second language is sometimes referred to as a near native speaker. When a person acquires a second language at a very young age, the distinction between native and non-native speakers become ambiguous. A child may be a native speaker of more than one language as long as the acquisition process starts early, says Alan Davis. After puberty, it becomes difficult, but not impossible, but very difficult to become a native speaker. The statement from the Handbook of Applied Linguists 2004. And if we talk about native speaker, we also talk about non-native speaker. So the second topic is about definition of non-native speaker. Someone who has learned a particular language as a child or adult rather than as a baby. Non-native speakers learn the language as older children or adults. However, this doesn't necessarily mean they speak the language any less accurately than a native speaker. And the important topics is about differences between native and non-native speakers in learning language context. The first distinction between learning natively and learning non-natively is that native speakers master or acquire it considerably faster because they are exposed to the language on a regular basis. They are confused and it is difficult to recognize the difference if they have been taught a foreign language since childhood. In contrast to non-natives, because their surroundings does not utilize that language as their everyday language. As a result, they are unable to discriminate between their mother tongue and their second language. As a result, it's best not to start teaching a foreign language to young children right away. The next distinction is that while a native can learn a language without taking lessons, it's difficult for a non-native to acquire a language only by self-study. Non-native speakers require the assistance of a teacher or the completion of a course in order to master a language more quickly. Then there is the questions of whether native speakers can easily remember the language they're learning because they use it in their everyday lives. In contrast to non-natives, who are unable to utilize the language they are learning in their everyday lives, since not everyone in their surroundings understands the language they are learning. And there are still numerous distinctions. Natives may use the language they are learning in their daily lives. So the conclusion is, as a result, it may be stated that native speakers masters their language faster than non-natives because they do not need to take course and can just learn on their own. Native speakers learn their native language considerably faster for a variety of reasons. The first of which is that they are born to parents who are native speakers as well. However, this does not rule out However, this does not rule out the possibility of a non-native speakers mastering a foreign language. They will simply require more time and effort than a native speakers. I think that's all from me. This is the end of my presentations. I'm sorry for the mistakes and thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.